there, gang, and welcome back to the channel. I don't do videos on op-eds very often because they're typically dumb, and there are way more important things to dedicate my limited time to because let's be real, toddler mom life is a marathon.
I just felt like running.
But the claim that the Second Amendment is a curse and that we should emulate ourselves after leaders that are trying to bring back the first stages of communist genocide? No, this article deserves to be dragged through the mud. Now, before we rake this argument through the coals, I'd like to thank Blackout Coffee for making this video possible. Literally, it was a long night and I had 3 cups today. To check out their coffees, teas, and hot chocolate, support the Second Amendment and this channel, go to blackoutcoffee.com/libertydoll. Also, if you like my work and think it would be really cool for me to do a video with some tanks, vote for me in the 2023 Gundy Awards. Link is in the description and pinned comment, and you can vote every day through January.
Did I mention the tank is a tank?
Sold.
So the first thing you need to know about this article is that it appeared on NJ.com, as in New Jersey, as in the folks who think they can just sidestep the Constitution and the Supreme Court all willy-nilly. That right there should clue you in as to why they think the Constitution is really just a piece of paper with some kind of Jumanji voodoo curse. Checks and balances against the government? Oh no! How on earth will we ever lick boots now? By being a blue state commie with a superiority complex. That's how. The article starts out by suggesting that gun owners want to bring guns to daycare and that this is detrimental to your health, and somehow linked to the abortion debate, which is pretty dark, but it's a lefty that put guns, daycare, and abortion in the same article, not me. Here in their la unicorn land, New Jersey is the real patriot for telling you what rights you can exercise and what you can do with your own private property that you had to petition the government for in order to buy in the first place.
Wikipedia of the Constitution.
Now imagine a world where we didn't have to struggle with this, says the anonymous Star Ledger editorial board. You don't have to look far for inspiration. There it is, just north of our border, where Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is almost reaching the point of banning gun sales in Canada. They have no Second Amendment, no constitutional right to gun ownership. Guns are treated the same as any other consumer good that the government can regulate. Yes, Jersey randos, and he's so amazingly competent that he just banned a gag gun called the Buttmaster, and even the Commie Club won't let him play with them, as we just saw when the president of China practically washed the floor with him a couple months ago. No one likes Trudeau, his people are practically prisoners, he freezes your bank account if he doesn't like you, and sick babies with life-threatening illnesses are sitting in the waiting rooms of their ERs for 24 hours at a time because their healthcare is just so great, and this is who we should be more like. I mean, tell us you have no basis in reality without telling us you have no basis in reality.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
You know what? I have an idea. How about New Jersey can just break off from the US, become an outpost of Canada, and we can check back in 10 or 20 years. The article goes on claiming that America is bleeding out because the core rationale is that we need guns for self-defense, but what we have is a public policy in which nearly 49,000 people a year are killed by guns and nearly 400 million firearms flood our streets, more than 1 for every citizen. Which proves that these people are also not good at math. Yes, there are over 400 million firearms in the US, but no, they're not on our streets unless all 200 million US residents over the age of 18 are walking around outside double-wielding every day. In all seriousness, that's the number of legal guns, of which 99.9% aren't ever used in a crime. Also, I don't know where they're getting the 49,000 number because even when you keep suicides in the stats, the numbers range from 30 to 40,000, which coincidentally is around the same number of fatalities from car accidents, and no one is out there banning cars. Well, except California, but that's something climate change. Let's make sure that everyone has rolling blackouts, kind of thing. The article goes on, it wasn't always this way. Oh, really? Tell me more about the strong history of firearm ownership in America. Not until 2008 did the Supreme Court suddenly side with the National Rifle Association and reject the interpretation that the intent of our founders was simply to ensure the government did not interfere with a well-regulated militia like the National Guard. When did we decide that the Constitution was written to protect the rights of the National Guard? I'm pretty sure we have a Bill of Rights starting with "We the People," not "Only the people of the National Guard." The article then quotes a Nixon-era justice as calling the Second Amendment a fraud in 1991, which, 1, was only 30 years ago and therefore says nothing about the historical spirit of the US, and 2, is a dumb opinion with nothing to back it up. If all the other amendments apply to the individual, so does the Second Amendment. Yet even with this extremist ruling, there's still plenty that Congress could do. Require background checks for all gun purchases. Yeah, that's already federal law. Along with better training, safe storage, and trigger locks. Can't legally require that under the Constitution. Take guns from abusive spouses and tighten up the enforcement of laws on straw purchases of weapons. Yes, the government just admitted that DHS doesn't even comply with the NICS system properly, and the ATF is the biggest gun runner in the US, but sure, let's make straw purchases even more illegal than they already are.
We have a winner!
Build an effective red flag system. Oh, New York Supreme Court just ruled this one unconstitutional too. Plus, we already have mandated reporting laws, and that basically works the same. After all, if a militia is well regulated on its use of arms, shouldn't the average American be? Literally advocating for regulating human beings the way the government regulates objects. Unsurprised. Then, the writers claim that in exchange for ROTC funding from the NRA, public schools lobby for gun rights? Which makes me think that maybe these people are from an alternate timeline or different universe and somehow got stuck in the space-time continuum, or else they're just smoking crack. But imagine the possibilities if we didn't have this irrationality, or at least the court interpreted the Second Amendment in a reasonable fashion. We wouldn't be reduced to these fights over whether you can pack heat in nursing homes. Please, Star Ledger, tell me who is advocating for their grandma with dementia to be able to carry in her nursing home. I want receipts. Then maybe we'll chat about who's being unreasonable. Then they say that all of this could be fixed if we regulated guns the way we did cars, which arguably would make guns a lot more attainable in the blue states, even their home armpit of New Jersey. After all, you don't need a federal background check to buy a car and can even drive it across state lines without worrying about getting arrested. Again, they invoke the Orwellian progress of Canada as the ultimate solution. I say the folks over at the Star Ledger should go back to whatever fantasy universe they came from, and if they can't do that, then maybe they can go check out the real estate in Toronto. That's it for this one, folks. Please comment, like, subscribe, vote in the Gundies, and as always, thanks for tuning in, stay safe out there, and happy shooting.